Hi, how's it going, guys? So today is my first official week in review video. I will be doing this every Sunday, or that is my goal, is to do this every Sunday, and it's not going to be a long video necessarily. It'll just be me talking to you for a little while about my week, things that have happened in my life, things that I've heard about in your lives, perhaps if you share things with me. I will always make sure to ask before I mention anyone. I don't know what I'm doing yet with this. I am brand new to this, just like you're new to seeing me do this. And so yeah, let's get right into it. The early part of the week wasn't really much of anything. I went to Comic-Con on just this previous Sunday with a friend I had met online actually, and who had tickets, and she invited me to go with her and a friend. So I happily went to Comic-Con for my first time ever, and it was a great con as far as I know. It was very crowded as I expected. I was in New York City, which gave me anxiety attacks, but overall I was doing pretty well, I think, that day. The downside, though, is I do a daily walk of about 1.5 miles each day, or that's what I was doing. I don't know how many miles I walked that day, but it was definitely more than 1.5 miles. And I could feel it very much for at least 3 days. For Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was not doing much of anything because it hurt too much to walk around my apartment. This means my father had a lot of stress because he had to get me things a lot of the time. He had me whining a lot because I whine a lot when I'm in pain. And yeah, it wasn't a pretty few days. On Wednesday it was starting to get better, but it wasn't until Thursday that I really noticed a difference, like a very big difference compared to how it was on Monday. So that was those 3 days pretty much in a nutshell. Thursday didn't really do anything either. It was just my dad and I had plans, but we had issues getting to do those plans. My dad's had issues with his stomach recently, so we haven't gotten to do most of what we intended yet. But we also had to have maintenance come in. I believe it was on Thursday, because there was something weird with the water. And yeah, that was really fun. Actually, our water... No, Thursday wasn't that. That was the previous week, sorry. Thursday we had a problem with our water, but it was because they were turning on boiler systems downstairs. And so for some reason, when I would turn on the faucet to cold water to wash my hands, it would come up scorching hot. And I didn't understand it at all. Dad didn't really experience it as much as I did. I know the neighbor did. I feel very bad for her. But yeah, it was wild trying to wash your hands without burning yourself on that water. Friday, I was pretty excited, but also anxiety driven. I was invited to a party, which was yesterday, which I'll get to in a little bit. But I have some anxiety issues. I have depression issues. I was on the depressed side on Friday, so my anxiety was showing a little more. But I was also really excited because I had been to a party upstairs before, and they're usually, from what I've experienced that one time and now last night, they're very fun, they're very noisy, which for me is not necessarily the best thing. They can get really crowded. That's why I left early last night. But I figured the reason my dad had me go to Comic-Con with my friend was because I had been depressed last week for a little while too. And he figured I would have a good experience, I would have fun at Comic-Con with my friend, and so he was all for the idea. even though it was a last minute decision. And he figured it might help with my depression. And I think it did, because my depression went away for a while. For those few days, of course, I was in a lot of pain, but I was glowing, I think. I don't know. I can't tell when someone's glowing, to be totally honest. I don't fully understand the terminology there. In an anime my father and I have watched like a bazillion times, Shin-Chan, in the Funimation dub of it, there's actually this one part where they are talking about how they think their teacher is pregnant, and one character says, "She must be glowing." And I just sit there and think about what Shin says at that moment, which is, she's pregnant, not radioactive. That sounds like what I would think in my own, at this age I am of 27. I think I would still have thought the same way as Shin did, because I don't understand certain idioms at all. I say them a lot, like someone's glowing, or, oh, I have more of that than I can shake a stick at. These are things that don't make sense to me, and I'll make a video about that later, probably, because there are a lot of idioms that make no sense to me, and it makes me very curious how they became idioms, so I'm probably going to do some research on that. But, yeah, it was a really fun time at Comic-Con. I got some good art supplies, and I've been having a lot of fun playing with that. But I did finally summon up the courage to talk to my dad about some of the stuff I was depressed about. And that's a little private, not quite private enough to talk about here. Or rather, it's private enough to not talk about here. I don't know how to word that properly. But I finally talked to Dad about it. He helped me come up with a solution to deal with it. And this morning I used the solution my father gave me. And it was actually something I knew I should do. I just kind of needed a push to do it. So even this morning, I had to have a friend basically push me to do it by like just telling them vaguely what was going on. So yeah, I'm not the easiest to motivate. But I did it now. I'm pretty happy about it. I mean, I'm still a little depressed, but I'm feeling a little more oomph in myself now. My one complaint about this week would probably be the fact that my dad and I keep talking about going to the store. We keep missing the chance to go to the store because it gets dark earlier now, and with Dad's guts how it's been lately, I mean, we can't really go anywhere with him the way he's been. Because of that, we talked about going to the store today because Walgreens is having a pretty decent sale, and I need something from them anyway. So I was thinking of just walking there on my own because it's shorter than the mile walk that I was doing each day. It's not like I can't do it, but I was going to do it with my father so we could get extra shopping done if we needed, like get some frozen food and stuff. But I could probably do some of that on my own, I think. I'm just worried about carrying it home. But as long as I don't go too crazy, I'm pretty sure I could do it. So I'm giving my dad a little more time. It's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon that I'm doing this. And so I'm letting Dad rest a little longer, see if he feels better. Because I really want to do the walk with him. It's a lot of fun when I walk with my father. We play Pokemon Go while we're doing our walks together. He doesn't come on my usual mile walk, but we do a second walk in the evening, or we're doing this. Last week, we were taking my second walk, his first walk, in the evening, and we would walk to a local park, which is like a quarter of a mile away. So it's a half mile going back and forth. And I want you to understand that's what I mean when I say a mile walk. I'm not saying I walked a mile and then walked back a mile. I'm saying I walked half a mile after walking a half mile. So there we go. That is basically my week in a nutshell. I know I've been rambling a lot, and I'm sorry. I will try to find a way to kind of make these cohesive as I get used to them. But I'm also using a planner, which is new for me. I started using this one like a couple weeks ago, and so far I find it is helping me with my stress levels and anxiety and things. So it's really handy. I've got a second one I'm using as a world planning binder. So all my world planning that gets done on the computer gets printed and goes into that binder. But yeah, I'll try to take some notes after doing this, and after a couple rounds, I promise it will get a little more palatable, a little easier to understand. But before I get going, in case you're new here, I wanted to say hello. I'm Jaluna. I am a writer and an editor. I do a lot of random things on this channel, and if you like randomness or you just like hearing me blabber on about insanity of daily life, click on the subscribe button. The worst thing that can happen is you find out it's not for you and you have to unsubscribe. I won't be offended if you do that, by the way. I won't be offended if you don't subscribe. I'll be a little sad, but I won't be offended by it. I also won't be offended if you leave comments of videos you would like to see me do, or ideas of how to make this video better, in your opinion. I would love to hear those, in fact. I want to hear anything and everything you can think of. So, get down there, click like if you like this, tell me what you like or don't like about it, and subscribe if you want to see where this ends up going. That's it for today. I'm Jelena Rolick, and I'll see you next time.